As we continue to think about student success, it's important to remember students with disabilities and how they engage with the online environment. In this month's State of PADE, we're going to hear from Professor Jennifer May from Clarion University, who is a PADE member and who has done some research on students with disabilities and how they experience the online environment. She has some good advice for faculty, for students, and she tells us where she thinks the future of online learning is going.
My name's Jennifer May, and I work at Clarion University. I've been here for 20 years, and I started out as an instructor in academic enrichment, teaching students college reading and study skills. I became the coordinator for disability services, and so in that role for 15 years, I coordinated services, accommodations. I worked with all of the students that had disabilities. So when I started working in disability services, I had about 70 students on my caseload when I started. That was in 2000. By the time I left that position, I had over 300 students. And so I became increasingly really interested in how the students with disabilities were learning, because I think there is an assumption that online learning may not necessarily be for students with disabilities. But what I was seeing was that students were successful. My take on it, from my perspective, working with students with disabilities for so many years, was that the online world provided a venue for them that otherwise wasn't there. So the online world really opened up opportunities for students with disabilities that other people may not have realized. And so it gave them a platform, if you will. Begin prior to the class. I found in the research where students were not considered unprepared for courses is because they were not familiar with the maybe course management system, the structure of the class, and things like that. So what research has found is if students have a prior course under their belt, whether it's campus or whether it's online, that they're more successful. So we know just that integration into a well-organized system is certainly beneficial. So we have to create a climate in our online world, a climate so that students do not feel alone. They still need to feel that connectedness. Students still utilize services. They like actually online tutoring, and they're more successful, especially students with disabilities. They would prefer online tutoring support as well as as compared to face-to-face.
Okay.
And if they use online support services, they're more successful. And I think everybody's familiar with what universal design is, but we have to make sure that all of our material is accessible. That's one of the biggest misperceptions with online world, is that we assume just because it's online, it's accessible, but that's actually a misperception. A deliberate conversation with students, because students in an online world may not know what those accommodations look like, because accommodations, while they might be similar in terms of the process, they are going to look different in an online world sometimes. I cover with students what their accommodations typically are in a face-to-face world. Talk to them about how that translates to an online world. Are they reasonable or not? Or do they need modified or not? I think the more that students find success, I think it's going to open up those doors even more for people. So I certainly think we'll continue to see the trends of what I found in my research, that more and more students overall are taking online classes, students with and without disabilities. What I found in terms of success is both groups, students with and without disabilities, were more successful in their online worlds.